And it's moving. All right, guys. All right. We got something on the eagle claw. And look at that, baby. It is bending. It is bending.
Some fish are legendary, some are sacred, and some will test everything you've got. Across North America, indigenous tribes have fished these waters for centuries, carving traditions, ceremonies, and survival from every catch. Now, we travel deep into their ancestral homelands to uncover stories behind the fish that shape their cultures, and catch some absolute giants along the way. From the raging rivers of the Pacific Northwest to the untouched lakes of the Great Plains, we're hooking into monsters that fed generations and diving headfirst into the traditions that keep them alive today. I'm Robert Jacobo, and this is IndigeFish, Tribal Tales. Are you ready to chase something big?
All right, guys, what's up? Welcome to another episode of IndigeFish. I'm your host, Robert Jacobo, and we're out here in beautiful Redondo Beach, California, where we are going to be hitting the surf and trying out our brand new pole, baby. This is the Eagle Claw 10-foot heavy pole, right? This thing has a line capacity of 25 pounds, but also to a lure capacity 1 ounce to 5 ounces. So we're gonna put this thing to the test here in the salt waters right here in the front beach. But you know what? It's a really nice day. We also are gonna be hitting up the shallows for some corbina, but ultimately I told myself, I need a 10-foot casting pole. I need something that's gonna be able to get my line out there, right? The 7-footer just wasn't doing it for me anymore. I just needed something. I just wanted a new experience, really. I wanted to say that I have a 10-foot casting rod in my arsenal, right? So anyways, I went ahead and picked this bad boy up from Walmart for under $36. Was able to pull it out and get myself a brand new rod for 36 bucks. This thing, it's a heavy rod. It's got a little flimsiness to it, but it's a crafted glass rod, right? Fiberglass. This thing is meant to get beat up. Now, I'm not gonna sit here and bend the tip of the rod to see if it bends all the way. My real test is gonna be whether or not I can get a fish on the line, keep it on the line, and bring it in without breaking this pole in half. So my thing is, let's go ahead and put it to the test. Let's see what it can do, and let's catch some fish today, guys. All right, so first and foremost, come with me. Let's check out these conditions that we got here, right? So it's about 2 hours past the pinnacle of high tide, which happened at about 10:55. Now, it looks like we might have a little bit of a hard time right where we initially are to get some sand crabs, but we moved down the beach a little bit over here, and I'm starting to see them pop up a little bit more in abundance. And not only that, but the sand is relatively soft. And let's see, as we're walking, if we can even spot out maybe some corbina that might be in the surf. Now, that's not our main priority right now. Our other priority is actually getting this line far out. Now I'm seeing some movement here, seeing some movement there. So that's where I'm gonna try to concentrate my, my lighter line, right? And what I have for that is my Okuma custom rod. And what that is just a rod. Basically pick that thing up from Big Five for like 50 bucks. Nothing too crazy. I usually use it when I'm at the river, but for here, it's gonna work just fine with the corbina. Now it's got 30-pound test on it. And then as far as braid goes, and what we're gonna do is we're gonna tie on our light leader, right, as a leader there. So we'll use some 8-pound fluorocarbon as our leader, just so that way we can have a little bit more control of our casting. Then what we're gonna do is we're gonna take this Sienna 3000 rod with our 20-pound line, and we're gonna link that up to our Eagle Claw pole, and we're gonna go ahead and get that one lined up. And what we'll also do, guys, is I'm gonna think about it, whether I wanna do it today or whether I wanna try it out a different time. But I just may try the no knot device that I have in my bag. So what that allows me to do is just to clip on to my leader line, to clip on a couple of hooks without having to tie a knot whatsoever. So I might actually just try that out. I have 2 packs of 3 that are sitting in my bag right now. So I might want to try that out. Maybe tie on a fluke as well before trying out some squid, or I might try out some squid. So we have a whole bunch of stuff going for us today, guys. So let's get out there. Let's start some fishing. But first and foremost, let's see about getting some sand crabs. And look at this. right here in front of us. Let's see if there's anything here for us. Is there anything that we can grab right here off the bat? Oh my gosh, look what we got right now. It's starting the day off right, baby. We got ourselves a nice little sand crab. And I think we're gonna tie that up to a Carolina rig. So let's go ahead and get started today. And we're gonna see about catching some fish, guys, so stay tuned. All right, guys, so we've decided we're gonna go with it. The no knot dropper loop clip, we're gonna go ahead and get this clipped on. Now let me show you what we got going on here. We're gonna go ahead and do a high-low rig, right? And so we're gonna take 2 of those out. Now, it's meant to be completely knotless. That's why it comes with 3 pieces in there, because what you can do is actually clip your weight down at the bottom of your line. However, I don't like to do that. I like to just cinch my weight up with a nice Palomar knot, which I know it's not completely knotless, right? Because we're obviously using a knot there, but it's just something I'm used to, and the Palomar knot, super simple, right? So I'm gonna take this one, I'm gonna put that in my teeth. So this is what we got going on, guys. We literally just, let's do that again. I go ahead and pry that open a little bit, right? So I pry it open, now it's disengaged. Then I go ahead and open it up. Now, right here, there's a little guide for a line. Now this one is, it's for 10 to 30 pound monofilament line. Now what I'm gonna do is, this is gonna be for my lowest one. I'm gonna position it right there. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and clip that right in, right? Nothing complicated about that. Wow. And let's see. And it's not moving anywhere, right? So we can go ahead and we're already done. We're done with that one, right? Now let's go ahead and get on the second one here. I'm gonna extend a little bit more of my line out. So I'm gonna pull on my drag, right? And put it about, that's about a foot. So let's go right there. Okay. And now, once again, I put it in that channel, right? Let's make sure that it's in the channel, right? Super simple. Make sure that it's in the channel. Boom. And there we go. Dropper loop number 2. We're on a couple of snell knots here. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna go ahead and actually, what I wanna do is I'm gonna go ahead and throw out some bait, right? So I'm gonna go ahead and cut myself some shrimp, or not shrimp, but squid, and get myself out there. But look at how simple that was. That was crazy. Within just a couple of seconds, like literally like less than 2 minutes, I have myself a nice dropper loop. And let's be honest, not a lot of fish are gonna be line shy to where we can't use these clips. So just get yourself out there and fish, guys. So anyways, stay tuned. All right, guys, first cast for the new pole. Let's go ahead and see what we can do. We got a sand crab. Now, we have our dropper loops that are on there, right? Courtesy of the No Knot Fishing Co. I just literally got hit in the foot by a corbina. So I have a feeling we're gonna have a good fishing day today. Now, I've never casted a 10-foot pole, so let's see how well this works. Holy crap. Wow. That thing gets out there. I definitely feel like I have some improvement to do, but just with relative ease, just nothing to even worry about. All right, guys, so we got our first cast out there, so stay tuned. I'm wondering if we might have something here on the line. Feels like there's a little bit of a tug. And it's moving. All right, guys. All right. We got something on the eagle claw. And look at that, baby. It is bending. It is bending. All right. Now can we land it? Can we land it? Let's let the water just do the work. It feels like a fish. I gotta remember too, that being that it's a 10-foot pole, you know, the amount of leverage that I have is a lot more than on my 7-foot dowel rod, right? So we gotta keep that in mind when it comes to like pulling, because you gotta remember, like, you're putting that much more on the rod. All right, guys. Oh man, we got a double hookup. That's a first for me. All right, let's not lose the double hook. Let's wait for this wave. All right, guys, we got a guitar fish and a stingray. Great job. And look at both of those, right? Let's get over here. We wanna... There we go. Pull them out of sand a little bit. All right, guys. So we got ourselves a nice stingray, and we got ourselves a nice guitar fish. Wow, great job. Awesome. And look at that, guys. It's on the no knot. Look at that. This guy's flipping around. This guy on the no knot as well. Definitely not line shy, right? So if anything, these things, they work, guys. They work. If you don't want to tie knots, you just want to be a guy that's out there just fishing, just get these no knots. They're pretty sensible and they work. Look at, they brought in a double catch. That's the thing that's really cool, right? And I know that just comes with us waiting and stuff like that, but to have it be my first time using a 10-foot rod, first time ever using the no knots, right? That's pretty cool. So anyways, guys, I'm gonna get these guys unhooked, make sure that I'm being safe around this stingray especially, so that way we're being safe not only for myself, but also for the animal too. All right, guys, so stay tuned. All right, guys, here we are. Guitar fish on the no knot. What a beautiful animal, I gotta say. Such a good animal, such a good fight always. And gotta say, this guy, he definitely chomped it down. So let's go ahead and get him out, get him unhooked and get him back out there, okay, guys? So I'm gonna flip him over real quick. Just wanna make sure I'm being as gentle as possible. That no knot hook came right out. Let's go ahead and get him off into the water, guys. What a beautiful animal. Let's make sure too that he's not too tired. We'll let some water run over him a little bit. Okay. Don't worry, he'll go off in his own as well. We're just wanting to make sure that he's able to fight off on his own. Remember, he's been out of the water for a little bit. All right. All right, guys, we're on catch number 3. Let's see if we can go ahead and reel it in. Oh, yeah. It's putting up a little bit of a fight there. It's so different being on this 10-foot rod. Like, it's so crazy how much more leverage you have. Like, this is insane. All right, let's see what we got here. We got another little Stingray. All right. Aw, this guy. Unfortunately, this guy, his tail is missing. Now, I still don't want to chance that there is a barb there, so I'm still gonna be careful. But it looked like his tail must have got ripped off or something of that sort, or it could have been also too a man-made thing where, you know, it's like somebody caught him and then cut the tail off. I'm gonna guess that it might have gotten bitten off, but yeah, we still want to be careful though, just because we don't want to chance it, right? So all right, I usually just go on ahead and put my finger in their mouth kind of thing. They have these little, it's almost like, you know, gripping a catfish in a way. Then with these J hooks, you know, I just go ahead and pop it back out. You know, this one happens to be in there just a little bit. I know, bud. That hurt a little bit. So we got ourselves our Stingray. But let's see. Yeah, it just looks like something must have ripped his tail clean off. So let's go ahead and get this guy back in the water. All right, guys, that's catch number 3. All right, guys, so catch number 3, Stingray number 2, and we have that guitar fish. And once again, guys, the no knots just coming in. It hasn't moved whatsoever. This thing is doing work, and not only that, but it's staying exactly where it's supposed to be on the line, right exactly where I put it. No complaints whatsoever. And not only that, but that's the 3rd catch of the day, 3rd catch ever for this particular pole. I gotta say, the 10-footer is doing just fine for being a $36 pole. You know, like that's an amazing figure, guys. So anyways, what I'm gonna do is I got my other pole lined up right now. I wanna see if there's a way that I can catch some of these corbina that I've been seeing. So I'm gonna go ahead and rack this one up for right now. We may come out a little bit later today and try it out in a different location and see how it does with some of the bigger guys that are gonna be coming in as the tide starts rolling in. But for right now, what I wanna do is I wanna finish off with possibly catching some corbina. So anyways, guys, stay tuned for what we got next. All right, guys, so I'm coming to put my equipment away, right? And I was like, you know what's really cool is normally, like when you have yourself your dropper loops and stuff, you gotta like basically, you know, either cut them off or just keep them on the line and hook them to your pole or something like that, right? Well, the cool thing about this no knot is I was literally able to unclip them from my line, and now I can just literally put them back in the package, right? And also too, the hooks that they come with, put them back in the package as well, seal it up, put it in my tackle bag. Boom, done. All right, guys, so we came out here, we wanted to try the Eagle Claw, the 10-foot, $36 pole. Correction, $35.64, so below $36 from Walmart. And we had ourselves a good time. Not only that, but we also tried another product that we got exclusively at Tackle Meet And it was amazing, right? So the No Knot Fishing company, No Knot Fishing clip, right? That comes accompanied with a snell knot. We were able to go ahead and utilize that on our fishing rig. So now what's really cool is I was able to take those clips off, put those snell knots away, and I can use them later on. And now my pole, the only thing that it has on there is a weight. And if I didn't want to have my weight tied to my line, it actually comes as a pack of 3, right? So you have 2 knots, or you have 2 clips for the snell knots with hooks on them. And then on top of that, you have another clip that allows you to actually attach a weight to it. So that way you don't have to have any knots whatsoever. You just have to have a line, right? But I personally like to tie a Palomar knot on my weight. That's just me. It's personal preference. But I was able to come out here and in no time have my rig ready to go. So the Eagle Claw pole for 36 bucks, I'm able to get out here. And then the no knots, those things are retailing, I think, for $6 or $7. You could probably get an exclusive deal here at Tackle Meet coming up in Long Beach on October 4th. Look them up at tacklemeets with an S.com, and you'll be able to get the information on where the location is and stuff like that. You might see some of these other vendors that are there. But ultimately, guys, great fishing day. We had 3 catches, right? 1 on the double, and then we had 1 more Stingray that was able to come up. We're gonna possibly get back out here towards the evening, see if we can't get our line out there in the deep and see how that Eagle Claw pole holds up, if it does catch something a little bit bigger, as well as possibly putting those no knot clips to the test as well to see if they stay on with something a little bit bigger as well. So I'm really stoked, guys, but you know, we just gotta wait until the evening. So anyways, guys, until next time, take care.